Welcome to Nguyen Nam Podcast channel. Dogs don't rely on vocal communication in the same way humans do, but it still forms a major part of the way they express themselves and their emotions to other dogs, and to their human family. Even though some will make more noise than others, all dogs bark. Whether you have a tiny Chihuahua or a fully grown Alsatian, you've probably heard them barking in a wide variety of situations. However, there might be times when it gets too much and you find yourself wondering why that happens and how to stop a dog barking, either in the house or in other environments. Here's what you should know. Why do dogs bark? Whatever causes your dog to bark, it has one purpose: to communicate what they are feeling. If you find them barking excessively, the best thing to do is to try and identify the cause, which might include any of the following. 1. They're suffering from separation anxiety. Seemingly excessive barking might be due to a separation-related issue. 2. They're trying to alert you. They might be trying to tell you there's someone at the door. 3. They're just having fun. If you're in the middle of a game, they might bark to show that they're having a good time. 4. They're mimicking the behavior of another dog. Households with multiple pets can get noisy very quickly. If you've got more than one dog, it doesn't always take much for one to set another off. 5. They're too excited all the time. Some dogs, however, can become overexcited and might continue to bark long after the postman has left, for example, or you've finished playing fetch, even once you've told them to be quiet. This can be troublesome, especially if you have neighbors close by. How to stop a dog barking in the house? There are several things you can incorporate into your daily routine to try and minimize or control your dog's barking in the house. Here are just a few ways you can stop your dog from barking at home. 1. Add more exercise to your dog's routine. One of the best approaches how to stop a dog barking in the house is providing plenty of exercise. After all, a tired dog is usually a quiet dog. You can make dog walks more exciting by adding games such as fetch or tug-of-war. There are plenty of dog sports you can enjoy with your pet, and going for a swim together every once in a while is a great exercise. That helps both of you blow out some steam and create a stronger bond. 2. Limit access to windows and fences. Pet owners might not even notice cars driving by, small animals in the garden, or every passerby. But chances are your dog is fully aware of everything that's going on outside their home, and excited to let everyone in the family know as well. This is why removing outside stimuli might help stop your dog from barking excessively. Try closing the curtains, putting the pet in a room that doesn't have a view to the main road, or limiting their access to windows, fences, and glass doors, so that they can't get hit up over anything they see outside, even if it's just a car driving past. 3. Teach your dog the speak and shush technique. Otherwise, training dogs not to bark, especially in the house, usually involves the speak and shush technique, which, perhaps confusingly, is best done by first training them to bark on command. Here's how. Enlist the help of a training partner and ask them to stand outside the front door while you and your dog are inside the house. Ask your dog to speak, at which point your friend should ring the doorbell or knock on the door. This should prompt your dog to bark, and when they do, give them a treat and lots of praise. Practice this little and often in various locations, and soon your dog should bark when you say speak, whether there's someone at the door or not. Now you've taught your furry friend to speak, it's time to teach them to shush. Start by asking your dog to speak and reward them verbally when they do. Then, tell them to shush and distract them from barking with a yummy treat or a favorite squeaky toy. Your dog can't bark and investigate the treat at the same time, so they'll stop barking. When they do, give them lots of praise, and the treat, of course. Repeat the technique a little and often and you'll soon be able to put the brakes on their barking with a simple command. 4. Ignore the barking. When dogs are looking for attention, they will usually start pestering their human family with lots of barking. If this is the case and there's nothing that needs your intervention, the best way to stop excessive barking is by ignoring it. When dogs get no reward out of their behavior, they will eventually learn that this is not an effective way to get your attention and give up. 5. Ask dog behaviorists for help. If nothing seems to stop your dog's excessive barking and there's no underlying medical issue, your vet can refer you to a dog behaviorist who may be able to help. Whether this is caused by separation anxiety or your dog is just overly excited and hasn't found the off switch yet, these professionally trained experts will figure out a way to get your dog to calm down and reduce excessive barking. How to stop a dog barking in the car. Barking in cars is a common issue. Dogs will bark to protect their temporary territory, especially if the car is parked and people are walking past, because they're frustrated at not being able to chase all the fast-moving objects whizzing by. Or it's simply because they know a car journey signifies an exciting trip to the park, or perhaps a less exciting trip to the vet. If you've mastered the speak and shush technique at home but your dog is still being boisterous in the car, you might need to take steps to make the car seem more normal and commonplace, so it's not just associated with excitement. A great approach on how to stop a dog barking in the car is simply letting them sit with a chew toy. Keep the engine off to begin with, then do the same with the engine running. Once your dog can sit quietly in the car with the engine on, go for a very short drive, but stop as soon as they start barking, and only continue once they quieten down. This will require some time and patience, but persevere. They'll get the message eventually. If your dog is particularly excited at the sight of other cars or people, try covering their crate if they're used to traveling in one or if they'll fit. Encourage them to lie in the rear footwell of the car. But remember, safety first. An excitable dog can be very distracting for the driver, so make sure they're kept properly secure on car rides. Common mistakes owners make dealing with excessive dog barking. The go-to response for many owners of barking dogs is to shout a bit louder, telling them to be quiet, but this can make your dog feel threatened, or they might think that you're simply barking along with them. There are lots of products on the market designed specifically for excessive dog barking that aim to calm and quieten your dog, such as anti-bark collars that administer a slight electric shock or a nasty spray. We don't recommend these as they're unnecessarily aggressive and unpleasant, and suppress your dog's natural behavior and need to communicate. Plus, smell spray collars continue to punish your dog long after they stop barking as the smell will linger in their very sensitive nose. These punishing types of collars won't deal with the underlying cause of the barking, and your dog will take their frustrations out in other ways, such as chewing the furniture, or even themselves. Instead, try to find out why your dog is barking. Is it to warn you about something? Are they barking out of frustration or boredom, or in order to get your attention? Are they barking because they've been left alone and they're trying to call you back? Once you've identified the cause, you can get to work on training techniques that will help tackle the problem in the long term.